I'm going to go behind that man so much he's going to think he's stuck in a revolving door. I'm going to take him down, take him around, show him the town. I'm going to reverse neck snap his neck. I'm going to dislocate both his shoulders. Then I might just paintbrush him until my hands are swollen shut.
Everybody to Juice Pro Wrestling episode 29.
Episode 29, Waste Management. Back in the mix today because he never left. The GM, Big Ed the Assassin, how you doing?
I'm good, Juice.
Oh,
how are you?
Oh, you know, I'm saucy.
I heard the studio's feeling a little savageness.
Oh, man, it's getting a little wild up in here. It's feeling a little crazy for the big return, the triumphant return of one.
Sreten the Savage!
Cue applause. I'm here. way to keep the studio alive while I was gone.
We kept the dream alive, the American dream.
I was scared.
We were scared too. We were like,
The American Dream, Juice Wallace.
Wabba face.
Wabba face.
Wabba Heavy. So, Sreten, tell us about where you gone, where you been, real quick in like 1 minute.
I went to Europe. I went to Serbia. I went to Austria. Went to Czech Republic. I went.
Did you go to Czech Republic?
Went to your mom's house. Oh, what?
So did you throw any swag up at any of these places you went to? Any stickers?
Wore stuff. I didn't have any stickers.
I gave you stickers.
Well, they weren't with me.
Oh, you what?
I did.
This is how you manage a podcast 101.
Waste management!
I did in. Dang it. I did see where did I tell you?
Weird things
The
in
Czech
foreign
Republic,
countries.
not Budapest. The other one. God damn it! I saw a bunch of Bullet Club shirts.
Austria.
Oh, yeah.
Austria.
Yep.
No. We're in Austria. Where did I go? I went to Vienna. What's more north? Man, what an idiot. Whatever.
I'm going to go behind that man so much he's going to think he's stuck in a revolving door.
Whatever. So that's cool, Sreten. We missed
Yeah, it
you,
was really
man.
cool. It was
I'm
really
glad
cool.
you had a good adventure. Now it's fucking
I
back
missed
to the
you guys,
squared
too.
circle.
Yeah.
I missed you guys.
Dummy, yeah.
I'll break both his shoulders, and then I'll paint until my hands close shut. What did he say?
I'm going to take him down, take him around, show him the town. I'm going to reverse neck snap his neck. I'm going to dislocate both his shoulders. Then I might just paintbrush him until my hands are swollen shut.
Shout out to Bobby of the Brain Heenan.
Gonna reverse neck snap his neck.
I'm gonna take him down, show him the Brown.
Show him the brown all
Show
around
the
town.
Browns.
Yeah, the Cleveland Browns, all downtown. Speaking of Cleveland Browns, shout out to Chris Button, episode 28 guest.
We're one away from
We're in the future.
30.
30?
Future.
30.
It's the dirty
30. Yeah.
I'm not gonna do that one for like a year. I'm just gonna skip over 30 and go straight to 31. See what people think. Try new things. Engage in different ways.
I think episode 30 should be very hard.
Very big, very hard, very stiff.
Pinata!
Pinata! He kicked out! He kicked out! Oh, man, the Savage missed that, didn't he?
I did.
he did.
I sure did.
He sure missed it when he was looking at all those hot Czech ladies.
That's right.
Are the women hot in the Czech Republic?
They're out all over the world.
Oh, yeah, I bet. Those European markets, you know?
All over the world.
People are still having sex. Anyways, we're here today to bring you guys some of our favorite pro wrestling managers of the past, present, and maybe fuck the future. We're living in the now.
We're in the now generation.
Yeah. We got a list here. We got some guys you may or may not be aware of. Ed, you want to start off with yours?
Yeah. I'm just going to talk about somebody who I like.
All right.
And then we'll go from there.
Connect 4.
I like Paul Heyman.
Oh, yeah.
I'm a Paul Heyman.
Sometimes when I'm
Paul
feeling
Heyman
saucy,
guy.
I call him Paul Hyman.
Ding
Ding, 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 ding.
I also like. Oops. I also like Louis Dangerously.
Louis Dangerously. He was funny. Because wasn't he like the bootleg Paul Heyman?
Yeah, he was. He was the bootleg Paul Heyman, but he was actually Sign Guy Dudley.
Yeah.
You remember? So.
EC-Dub.
I like Paul Heyman though. I think the guy is awesome in a mic. Like on a mic, he. I mean, it's great. I think even with now, I know we're not. With Brock kind of coming and going as he pleases. He's the perfect person to speak for Brock because it's like Brock Lesnar should speak, and it's like I'm gonna beat you in the face, you know. And then you got Paul Heyman. He's just like this.
Well, supposedly, remember too, we were talking a while ago. He was gonna be one of the writers, head creative or some sort of creative on Raw, and I haven't really noticed the difference. So maybe he didn't take that job.
Maybe, but I really like Paul Heyman.
Yeah,
I think he's awesome.
He's probably one of the best talkers in all of wrestling out of anybody. I mean, he's even up there with, I'd say, The Rock, dude.
You really think so, JPDUB? What about me?
That's what about fucking
me, his
Paul
twin
Bearer?
Yeah. Oh.
Me and my Undertaker. Oh yes, I've got something in my pants for you.
Hey, I'll tell you what.
Candy.
We stayed at a hotel. This was back in 2004, 2005. We played the New Jersey Metal Fest, and we stayed at a hotel out there. We ended up seeing Paul Bearer
Percy Pringle in the flesh.
in the flesh,
Oh.
and he had a fleshlight.
Okay. Saving you some time on that editing process there.
We seen him though. It was awesome.
Really, you didn't say nothing to him?
No, he just kind of was just there.
Then he passed away, and some weirdo that knows his family he tried pawning his Hall of Fame ring.
What?
I think the family wants me to sell it.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
But
Should've
yeah,
just donate it to science.
yeah, it was weird. He was good though. Paul Bearer was good.
Yeah, Paul Bearer was really good. He's another one of my favorite managers. We kind of jumped the gun.
Yeah.
I mean, I want to talk a little more about Paul Heyman just
Yeah.
real quick, and we'll transition into another great selection. It's natural selection.
Well,
But,
tell me about Mr. Hyman.
Well, Paul Heyman not only makes the top list because he's like he was the ultimate promoter, with ECW and everything, and just the way he promotes Brock Lesnar. And when he was with CM Punk,
Yep.
he's killer on the mic. He's got a good creative mind. And look at all the guys he's managed, dude. I remember like the Dangerous Alliance in WCW. Had
Yep.
like Stunning Steve Austin, Rick Rude. I think Arn Anderson was in there. Some other people. But Paul Heyman's the shit, and I think he really needs to get a new client. Him and Samoa Joe would be kind of cool.
Him and Samoa would be cool. I really think that I think Paul and Samoa Joe would be cool.
Joe's gonna rape you. No, it's not. I was just kidding.
I think him and Samoa Joe would be good. I also think him and Braun Strowman would be okay.
Yeah, it wouldn't be bad. Just
You
put
know?
him with somebody. Throw him with Ronda Rousey.
Yeah, Rowdy Ronda Rousey. Yeah, I think they would be fine.
Who currently is really, really bad when they get handed a microphone? Whose promos are bad?
A lot of
because
them.
they're bad speakers.
A lot of them.
Yeah.
But too, just real quick to touch on, since we're talking about today, wrestling managers. I mean, it's kind of a lost art anymore. WWE especially doesn't use too many managers. I mean, not for even very long. Look at Rusev and Lana. She was his valet manager, whatever, and now she's become more of a team member or whatever you want to call it. It's his wife in real life, but they're more of a tag team or whatever the hell you want to call it now than she is a manager. All you really got is Paul Heyman. You got Zelina Vega with Andrade Cien Almas. What's her name? Started off in NXT as the manager for Blake and Murphy. Alexa Bliss.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Oh my.
I know, right? Ooh, little Miss Bliss, sit on this tip, get on this. Never mind.
So random.
So yeah, but I love Paul Heyman. Got mad respect for him. But going into Paul Bearer, who he was also a freaking great manager, like super memorable as a child.
Oh, for sure.
Like he was
he made
so
everything
creepy. It's
believable.
Like, man, he looked like a real life character from Beetlejuice or something.
Yeah. He made everything believable. I think
Yeah.
he made the Undertaker persona. Like growing up, I'm like, my God, the Undertaker's freaky. Like,
So goddamn scary.
it was one of those things. But like this, everything from the urn to the like how it has this like mystic powers and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Rise, Undertaker,
Yeah, yeah.
rise. you know.
Percy Pringle, man.
Yeah, I thought he was fantastic. And then even when he
with
managed Kane, when
he
he
brought
managed
Kane in, right?
Yeah, and you know what's so funny is he was his skin was real white and like powdery
And
with the Undertaker.
He was a ginger.
Yeah, and then when he was with Kane, he was like tan and ginger.
Yeah.
It cracked me up, you know.
Hell yeah.
And then who was it? What was he even got in some of the angles too, where
Was he chop blocking and blessings?
chop block and blessings. When who was it when was it Undertaker kidnapped him and put him in the freezer?
Yeah.
Was it
I think so,
was it
yeah.
the Undertaker?
Oh no, it was Kane.
It was Kane who
He
kidnapped
turned
him.
on him.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
put him in a freezer.
He's like, it's really cold in here, my Undertaker. I need a fallation to keep me warm.
But even the voice though was hilarious. Like,
it was
just
great. And he had
everything.
the facial expressions. He looked like Clayface from Batman because it was just all pudgy, but like moved all like some super awesome animatronics. His face didn't even look real, even though it was.
I feel like they emphasized way too much makeup on his face, and
They
that was
did.
part of it. Like,
yeah,
that was
because
part
he's
of
a
the-
mortician, dude,
Yep.
right?
So that was like part of it and everything like that.
Old school Undertaker's the shit, dude. I'm not so big on Undertaker anymore, but that character back in the day was
My
awesome.
favorite Undertaker was the American Badass.
It probably was.
No, no,
Fuck that.
Yeah, the original Undertaker when he came out. Remember when he fought Hogan?
Oh yeah.
He gave him
beat him
he gave him the
for
tombstone.
the strap, and Jack Tunney's like,
That ain't happening.
yeah.
He what was the one when he piled or he gave him a tombstone outside on the
You gave Hogan one?
Yeah, he gave
Oh,
him
yeah, on
on the mat.
On the mat, yeah,
Yep.
outside the ring.
So what about I love you,
Brother Love?
Yeah, he's another one that
Yeah.
they put way too much makeup on and like
Yeah.
spray tan. They like overemphasized it.
I never liked his character really. Either.
No.
I never. Did you like Brother Love? Remember?
Oh,
him?
as a kid, we used to quote him all the time.
Yeah.
I remember every Saturday we'd watch. I
you would-
love you,
Yeah.
yes I do.
yes, I do. Rod Stewart.
He had that like I felt like he was the complete polar opposite of what Paul Heyman was.
Yeah.
Or not Paul Heyman, Paul Bearer was.
Oh, yeah.
He was like the complete polar opposite.
Yeah.
Dude,
But he was evil though. That was
I
kind
know.
of funny. He was like he did kind of have like for the 80s, like the old school sinister televangelist, you know?
Yes, that's what he. That's
Yeah,
That's
I guess
exactly.
I did kind of like him a little. I just hate to admit it. Shout out to Bruce Pritchard, and he's doing well with he's got the #1 wrestling podcast.
Yeah.
right now.
But I think he was awesome. And then you had the Brother Love show, right? Wasn't it the
Yeah,
what was the skit that they used to have? Was it the Brother Love show or what
It was like the
Yeah, it was like a TV show.
Yeah,
Like, it
yeah.
stopped everything.
Yeah.
and-
like Piper's Pit and all that shit. You know?
Piper's Pit was cool.
Yeah,
I wish they would do more stuff like that.
yeah.
You know,
They do too much of it now, but it's not.
it's not like that. Like they
There's
had-
like some couches in the ring, and Chris Jericho has a show. The Miz has a show. Fucking
but it wasn't like it
Eddie
wasn't
Guerrero
like,
somehow still has a show, and he's gone.
it wasn't set up like the barber shop. It wasn't set up like the barber shop or like Piper's Pit.
The barbershop
Like, they
was
had-
cool with Brutus. Yeah,
Yes.
Brutus Beefcake. Do you remember the funeral parlor segments? While we're
Yeah.
on the subject of Paul Bearer,
Yep.
those were awesome. It's creepy, dude. Like the fog and the shit coming
Yep.
through, and you'd just be sitting there like, oh, and there'd be a casket. It's made of cedar.
You had like
Cedar
the,
Lake.
you had like the Undertaker like building the casket. and
Yeah,
everything
he'd
like
look
that.
up and be like, Yokozuna.
Remember when Kamala was scared of him?
Yeah, I'd be like, woo, woo. Man, Kamala has no legs anymore. That's sad.
That is, man. But I remember when that was actually a good little
That was a cool feud.
yeah, that was a cool feud. It was him and Kamala, he feuded with Yokozuna, didn't he?
Yeah. Speaking of like segments, like talk show segments, we could probably do a whole episode on that because we're
Yeah.
whatever. We'll tie this in with the managers today. You know,
Yeah, episode 30.
right? The Day 30. Another one I really like was Jake the Snake Pit.
Oh, the Snake Pit was awesome.
That was cool too. It was kind of creepy looking.
Yeah, but Jake the Snake had the creepy.
Yeah, dude.
creepy
He always
already.
he'd be hanging out with cobras.
Who else did you like, Juice?
Manager wise,
Yeah,
Bobby Heenan is my absolute favorite.
the Brain.
Yeah, the Brain. Nobody was better, dude.
He
I remember back in the day, and he was I think he's from Chicagoland or Indiana, one of the two. I mean, he's close. He's a hometown boy. I had
I'm
the
gonna knock him
DVD.
around, all around town. Show him the brown.
He's gonna show him the Brown Town. Brown Town.
Then I'm going to rip out his shoulders from his sockets. And probably go
Well, I fuck him.
paint a picture until my eyes close shut.
Until
What?
my eyes swell shut.
Until my eyes swell shut. What?
Yeah, Heenan was good, man. He
Dude, and
managed
look at
everybody.
everybody. The Heenan family, like, I don't know if you remember, but like as a kid, I always paid attention like the dumb little things they'd say as the characters walked out or whatever. Like Bobby Heenan walking out and they're talking about how he's like 10 years in a row or 8 years in a row, the John Madden Manager of the Year award. And he'd always come out with this plaque and shit, dude. Like, he just seems so legit. And with the guys like the Heenan family, dude, you had Big John Studd, he ended up managing Andre the Giant.
Yep. I liked the fact that I liked that everything like that was the Heenan family. Like, I loved that.
Yeah,
I loved
Rick
that
Rude,
angle.
Mr. Perfect, and Ric Flair, dude. When
Yep.
Flair came in, Bobby Heenan, that was so awesome. Before Flair ever came in, he's holding the WCW world title, and he's like, this is the real championship. You know, and like the real champ is coming.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
And it was so badass, dude. And the guy was just so quick-witted. Like, on commentary, Bobby killed it on commentary,
Yes, he
too.
did.
there's nobody better.
Gorilla Monster. Would you stop? Would you stop? I remember-
God.
Yeah, I loved it, dude.
He's like, you know, he's like, what? Dude, they were great together on, what was it, like Saturday morning? They always had the wrestling show, like on USA Network or something. They'd be out somewhere, or it was also Bobby and Mean Gene.
Yep.
They'd be at the zoo or something. You gotta be kidding me.
Do you remember? You remember some of the segments where where they would have like Bobby Heenan would like train with one of the wrestlers, or like they would have
dude.
Mean Gene.
It would remind me of like Cartman, South Park. You know, he's just like,
Hey, what was the one back in the day when they were at the Oktoberfest in like Germany? Do you remember that one?
oh yeah, they're wearing the fucking what do you call those? Thread?
Lederhosen?
Yeah. You guys got to go on YouTube. Check that out.
That's a great one, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that. I mean, it was so cool because they had those segments and it
Yeah.
made it fun.
And they
like,
had great chemistry, dude.
Yes.
Great chemistry. Bobby Heenan and Gorilla Monsoon. Anybody you paired those guys with, too, because I also remember, like, Gorilla and Jesse the Body, dude.
I remember that.
Dude, those were great, man. I remember Jesse the Body and Tony Schiavone.
I used to be really good at it.
Yeah.
yeah.
We're going to establish a perimeter.
Now, would you stop? Like,
Wrestlers are going to establish a perimeter.
If you don't go out and vote, you ain't got the right to bitch.
dude, I loved Gorilla Monsoon.
Yeah,
as
Gorilla,
an announcer.
Gorilla was the best, dude.
He was one of my favorites.
And
To
I
me,
think he body slammed Muhammad Ali.
he did.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's what he get.
Yeah, he actually I think he picked him up and I think he picked him up and like spun with him.
Yeah, spun the night.
Yeah.
Say tonight.
But it was Gorilla Monsoon was great, and I like Jim Ross. I think Gorilla Monsoon and Jim Ross were awesome. But Heenan, like I said, Heenan was one of those. Put him behind a
I
mic.
could talk about him all
Yeah,
night.
you put him behind a mic as a manager. Put him behind the mic as an announcer. It doesn't
Even a
matter.
wrestler, dude. Like, I mean, he wasn't going over dudes,
Yeah.
but his timing in the ring and everything.
Dude, you remember
it was so
he always
believable.
wore, whenever he wrestled, he wore
Weasel.
the Andre. He wore like the mini
Yeah,
Andre.
yeah, he did have the mini
The Andre, yeah.
the singlet with the
Yeah,
one
the
strap.
singlet. Yep, it was, man, you know. But it cracked me up, and he would run he'd run away the whole time. you
Yeah.
know? He was.
And then he'd always get knocked out, and they put on that weasel suit. Remember, he'd wake up and like, like you didn't know it was on.
Yeah, he was awesome though, man. You know, Heenan wasn't a small guy either. He was 6'1", like 230 or something like that.
Yeah,
He
Bobby
wasn't
the Brain. Where was he from?
Chicago, Illinois.
Yeah, Chicago.
Yep.
Knew it was somewhere around here.
Yep, he was from Chicago, but he died in Florida. And what he
As they all
died?
do.
He died last year.
Yeah.
Yep, last September.
Yeah, it was bad. I feel really bad for Bobby the Brain. He, for those of you out there in the JPDUB that don't know, I think right after when WCW folded in 2001, he had like been diagnosed with throat cancer, and like he ended up losing. Dude, it's sad. Like if you go on YouTube and look at that,
Like Roger Ebert? Roger
Yeah.
Ebert lost his, like they took off his whole bottom jaw.
Yeah, that's
Did
how
they
it was.
really? I didn't
dude.
know that
Yeah.
happened to Ebert.
Yeah, dude.
His whole bottom jaw.
Yeah.
And he was writing for years where he wasn't able to speak.
Yeah.
Wow, I
Yeah,
didn't
yeah.
know that happened
Yeah,
with
yeah.
Ebert.
Oh, yeah.
That's why with his website he just started writing articles and he was never
Right.
like he'd go out and they made like his face so it looks like he was smiling but he didn't have any bottom jaw. And the same thing happened to Bobby the Brain.
Yeah. Oh yeah, dude. It was like completely gone, and he had a huge mustache. He was like bald. You couldn't recognize him, but he was still super cool, even though he was like that. You can see things. He was doing signings at like the old ECW arena, and like he wrote a book and shit. and still like cool what people are showing him with like wrestlers that knew him, and even fans coming up to him and they're like talking like, how you doing, Bobby? And he looks up and he can't talk, but he just like raises his middle finger, you know, like still had a sense of humor.
Universal sign for I'm cool.
Yeah.
Yep.
But rest in power, Bobby Heenan, one of the absolute best, my personal favorite manager of all time. While we trek down this list.
Yeah, he was great, man. I mean, that guy was a good wrestling mind, man. Who else did you like?
Teddy Long. I liked him when he managed
Teddy Long.
Doom, man.
Teddy Long.
Ron Simmons and Butch Reed.
Yep. Man, that was awesome.
Yeah.
I specifically liked the promo.
Holla, 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 holla.
When they talked about how they're coming after Hulk Hogan.
Oh, yeah. Hulk Hogan, we're coming for you, brother. See what I did? I did it.
And then
Oliver Humperdinck. Do you remember Oliver Humperdinck?
No.
From the 80s, dude.
Oliver Humperdinck.
Yeah, dude.
I'm trying to. Who did he manage?
Superstar Billy Graham, Paul Orndorff, the Great Muta, Bam Bam Bigelow.
Oh man, that's probably a little bit before me.
Oh, you know him if you've seen him. But let's get to another one of my personal favorites, Paul Ellering. Precious Paul Ellering.
Yeah, dude.
Back in the day with the Road Warriors.
Yeah.
Dude, and he was awesome because he was a legit smart businessman.
And he was just as jacked as the people that he
was
managed.
so huge,
Yeah,
dude.
I know.
Like, I forgot what it was. He was a wrestler in, like, the AWA, NWA, and super jacked, and he got hurt, like a back injury or something, so he retired. But he was, like, always in the business and stocks. He'd always have, like, the Wall Street Journal and just come out and all huge, and he'd be talking. He'd slap me right now if he heard the way I talking.
Mm-hmm.
But in these promos, he would be cutting promos where it's just super, like, intellectual, but, like, vicious, you know? Like, I'm sending my dogs of war, the Road Warriors. Like, he'd go on some, like, prophetic rant.
He was awesome. I felt like he was such a great hype dude. Like, he hyped his guys up. Like, he hyped like, waiting to, like, oh, it's like, oh, my God, I can't see the Road Warriors. I think that the Road Warrior pop,
yeah,
he helped with it. I mean, don't get me wrong. Road Warriors are awesome.
You call them the Roid Warriors?
Yeah, the Roid Warriors.
Roid Warriors podcast.
Hey, don't get me wrong, dude. They were awesome, but I think that he had a lot to do with that as well, as far as like building them up.
Yeah, build them up like Legos. Build them up, drop them down.
Warriors.
I thought he was awesome.
What a rush.
Juice like Virgil.
Yeah, I love Virgil, dude. When he was Vincent, and remember he was like the NWO's manager, dude. He was just thugsta.
Virgil was awesome.
He was always mean mugging, like,
Yeah.
now he's all about that fuck money and Olive Garden. Follow him on Twitter and Facebook if you don't believe me. Virgil's great.
What about Slick?
What about your friends? I love the Slickster, dude. The Reverend Slick. Remember Akeem the African Dream?
Yep.
He always
had those funky dance.
Yeah. AKA the One Man Gang.
Yep. That was one. They were one and the same, right? Same person.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
That's what AKA means.
Oh, I know.
Or does it?
Boo. That's crazy, though. Yeah.
Yeah. Remember, I wish people had video go right now. I'd be doing this.
Shaking his head. Shaking his head.
Oh, yeah.
He did it. He had that. Like,
You a job so bro. I got that on vinyl, dude.
He had the big man shake. Dude.
Yeah, he
Just,
did. He was from
jiggle a little
Africa.
bit.
What they built him from South Africa or something like that.
When I was little, I used to get him confused with what's his name, the cop, the
Big Boss Man.
Big Boss Man.
They were a tag team. The Twin Towers,
I knew,
dude.
I knew they weren't the same dude when they joined up forces. I was like, oh, it's
Dude.
not the same guy.
Shout out to the Slick. Slickster's awesome, man. You got that job so bro. You a job so bro.
Hey, so it's funny on here. It says, those of us who were fortunate to watch Slick cut promos and perform remember his
think he
simply
was always
because he
high on
was so
crack.
entertaining as a one-of-a-kind manager, you know, and everything like that, even though he had like some mid-card talent and everything.
Yeah.
And it says, since he left the wrestling business, Slick is now an ordained minister.
Yeah, the Reverend. Yeah.
The Reverend
sure,
Slick.
dude.
Wait, does it say where?
I don't know.
I'm sure you could Google it.
Yeah.
Ted DiBiase became a minister, dude. I think
Yes, he did.
Tully Blanchard for a second became a minister, dude.
Yeah.
Shawn Michaels, Sting, super into religion.
I see a
Really?
bit coming on. We go
Yeah.
visit these guys. Road trip.
Road
Episodes
trip.
where we go interview Ted DiBiase.
Be like,
Yeah.
hey, Ted, hey, Slick.
We're looking for them blessings.
Blessings.
Give me them blessings. blessings.
We brought the
Fixins.
chicken. We brought the chicken. You give us the blessings.
Yeah, chicken,
Blessings.
turkey,
Blessings. Drippings.
fixins, trimmings, all that fucking beautiful bullshit.
Oh shit, man. That would be hilarious, man.
I would love it. I love it almost as much as I didn't love Harvey Whippleman.
I am Harvey Wimpleman.
Oh God, remember? Didn't he manage Sid for a little bit in like the Barbarian or something, or the Warlord? Was it the Warlord?
It was just
Real name Bruno Lauer.
Yeah, he wasn't around for a very, very long time though, was he?
No, he was like there for a hot second.
Yeah.
Ted DiBiase.
Yep.
The $1 Million Corporation.
Yep.
Not only was Ted a great wrestler, but a manager as well. He would just buy people out, you know.
He would. He'd be
Except Virgil. Virgil never had a prize.
Virgil never had a prize.
And you know why? Because he just want fuck money, not real money. No one knows what fuck money is except Virgil.
Then you got DiBiase with Stone Cold.
Mm-hmm. The Ringmaster.
The Ringmaster.
Which didn't really work out.
No, it didn't. Okay, what about this one? This next one you're gonna like.
love
It's a
it.
personal favorite.
Yeah.
Sensational Sherry.
AKA Scary Sherry Martell.
Yep.
Yeah.
You loved her.
As a kid, it's weird because like she's not so really attractive, but I was kind of attracted to her.
When you said that the other day, I'm like, it's disgusting.
She's
Like,
exotic, man.
No, dude,
She's
she's
terrifying.
crazy. Yeah, terrifying.
Her hair.
That's how she would yell. She'd be like, "Come on!"
hey, would scaring any of those teenage boys from getting boners, dude? They'd be like, oh shit. Except Wallace.
Except
You're
for-
talking bad about sensational the Queen Sherry.
Macho Man, why did you like her so much?
Ooh, let me tell you a little something here. Let me tell you like this. The blacker the berry, the sweeter the juice. Dig it.
She was good though, man. She had So who did she manage? Macho Man?
Yeah, dude, man, all kinds of people. Macho Man, Harlem Heat.
Shawn Michaels there for a while.
Shawn Michaels. She did the original Sexy Boy.
Yeah.
That was her singing on it.
Oh, Shawn.
I think I'm cute.
Yeah.
I love Badussy. I got the move that just keep the girls chunky.
But you had her. She was great. And
Yeah.
then I think
she managed a lot of people, man. A lot of people. Ric Flair too, and the $1 Million Man, Jeff Jarrett.
Yep. Then you got here another one of your personal favorites, Mr. Jim Cornette.
By God, James E. Cornette.
He's also got a podcast. I like Jim Cornette. He tells it how it is, dude. And I there's some shit I don't like. Like he's the whole reason, believe it or not, All In like happened.
Yep.
He was talking about the Young Bucks and Cody, and they was like, well, I think they're great, but they couldn't put 10,000 asses in seats, Like they
And-
couldn't sell out a thing, and they did. They did it. They think they've gone too far. That was
Dave's
Dave's
in your
threat.
head, bro.
he's telling me to vote right here.
Hey, now when they packed everybody,
Subliminal.
into that stadium, Jim Ross. Wow. How did they pack them in? Was it very hard?
They were very hard, very stiff, and a lot of them were bad.
But yeah, I didn't know he was. I didn't know he was one of them that was starting to doubt the Young Bucks and Cody.
Yeah, the Louisville Lip himself, the leader of Camp Cornette.
I think if a lot of those dudes were honest, the majority of those higher ups or the veterans didn't think. Because they think status
they're
quo,
old
keep things as it's
traditionalists.
going.
Yeah,
Even though the tradition has changed.
spot monkeys.
Yep.
The thing is that stuff that was that nature of wrestling from the 80s, they're bringing it back. And it was missing. Like it shifted drastically and got a little more perverted in the 90s and 2000s. And then,
I think it's like the best of everything, both eras right now.
yeah.
If you look outside of WWE, because you cannot use WWE.
Are you saying a new golden age is coming?
Yeah, I've been saying it for a long time.
Yeah,
So have a lot of other people. Billy Corgan's been talking about it for a couple of years. That's why he wanted to invest, and he's doing shit with the NWA. And real quick, while we're talking about the NWA, I want to throw in. They have that NWA 70th anniversary where it's the rematch versus Cody, the champ. The man with the 10 pounds of gold, baby. Versus Nick Aldis, former champ.
And when is this?
This is actually, I have it pulled up right here. It's in my pants. I'm going to whip it out. Let me unzip real quick. There it is. It hit the floor. Daddy always told me it would hit the floor. It's on Sunday, October 21st at the old asylum, the old TNA asylum at the Nashville Fairgrounds.
Whip it out, Juice.
Oh, he just said I was needle dick, the bug fucker.
Working on sound effects here. Metal dick.
There's all kinds of shit going on. There are like VIP packages. There's meet and greets with Tony Schiavone and James E. Cornette.
Excuse me, Mr. Dusty Rhodes. Did you say there's meet and greets?
That's meet and greet, baby. You come on down, meet the dream. I dazzle you, baby.
Can we greet you?
You could greet me, you could secrete me, you could do anything but treat me, baby. Treat me right.
Then we also got so you got Jim Cornette. He was the one who started all that.
Well, no, and he was also old manager. Remember the Midnight Express?
Yeah. Jim Cornette was every. The thing is
he busted
some
his
people,
shins. He broke his shins on that scaffolding match. Do you remember hearing about that? I think it was NWA.
No,
it was like NWA AWA event. They had this real scaffolding up in the middle of the ring. It was Road Warriors versus the Midnight Express.
Really?
And neither one of them guys wanted to fall off there. It's like Cornette did it.
Yeah.
And dude, you guys will have to Google it. It's on WWE Network too. But he falls, dude, and he like broke both of his legs.
No shit.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. You know what though?
He's taking a mean bump, dude.
He has, but I'll tell you what. He's also heavily involved with wrestling, like his entire life.
He's lived it.
He had territories, and I mean, you name it, man. Like he had what was his promotion? What was it Cornette?
Smoky Mountain Wrestling.
Yeah, Smoky Mountain Wrestling.
Yeah, which is also available on the WWE Network. There's a lot of shit that was actually still going on when the Attitude Era was like getting started, like kicking off.
Yeah, and you want to know what, man? For as much as he's been involved with wrestling, he's only 57.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
That's
I mean,
crazy.
I feel like he's been around
I
forever.
feel like he's like 60-something. But he's close to it, so you might as well round up on here. Up next on the list.
Sorry. How old's Hogan?
Hogan's 63, 64.
All right, that's it.
I
Who's
think
next
him
on
and
the list?
Danzig.
Sorry.
Who's next? One of my personal favorites, Super Mario himself.
Oh.
It's me, Mario.
Yeah, dude.
Dude, we got a little Fat Boys action going on there. Fat Boys are back. And you know they will never be back.
Dude, Captain Lou.
Captain Lou Albano. This guy, he was in Cyndi Lauper videos in the 80s. What else? The Super Mario Brothers Super Show, right? Who didn't watch that as a kid?
Yeah.
Everyone.
Everybody.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
Captain Lou was awesome, dude. Didn't he manage the head shrinkers for a little bit?
Yep.
Rubber band in the beard.
Yeah. He was also in Hulk Hogan's Rockin' Wrestling, the cartoon. He was one of the characters in that.
Oh, wow, he's dead.
Yeah, Captain Lou died a while ago.
Yeah, almost 9 years ago, almost. Yeah. Wow, I didn't know that.
Captain Lou was the shit.
Yeah.
I liked him. I always loved all the, it was like rubber bands like in his face and his beard.
Yeah.
Like, what's going on?
Well, yeah, dude,
here?
he was 76 when he died, man. You know,
he was super old. He had been in the business for a long time. Captain Lou's one of the best, though, for sure. Up next, one of our first female entrant onto You Just Made It Last! The lovely Miss Elizabeth.
Miss Elizabeth was awesome.
Oh, yeah.
She was classy.
She used to have that really good
classy.
quote.
Yeah. That means he's sprung.
This is so much, man. Help.
Where's Elizabeth? I'm coming after you.
So what Elizabeth was, she was married to Macho Man.
Yeah.
And was Macho Man's manager. But then she was also...
She was with Ric Flair for a minute.
Hogan, Ric Flair for a minute.
And then she went NWO.
Do you remember when you remember when Macho Man... so it was when Flair came over to WWF, and you remember when they released the magazine, the WWF magazine?
Yeah.
And it was pictures of Flair and Elizabeth.
Yeah,
remember
Flair
that?
and Elizabeth together. He's like...
Yeah.
Whining and dialing style.
Yeah, he was, dude. And Macho Man was getting pissed,
yeah.
you know?
You could see in his eyes. He was like, I'm going to kill him.
Yeah. But, dude, the first lady of wrestling, dude, that's the most accurate statement out there, man. She was absolutely fantastic. But the thing is like, she was classy hot. Like,
yeah, until she did drugs with Lex Luger. Then she got white trashy.
You mean the narcissist?
Yeah, the narcissist. The total package.
I couldn't stand.
Don't talk shit about Total.
I really didn't like Lex Luger, ever.
Yeah, I was never a big fan either. I just kind of liked his theme music. I don't even know why. This WCW one.
Yeah, I was never even a big fan of him. But who do we get? Who's next on the list?
Who's next is the Grand Wizard. For those of you that don't remember the Grand Wizard, it's real name Early Ernie Roth, early in bed. because look at how old this motherfucker is. I don't really remember too much. I've seen him back in some old WCW shit, NWA, AWA, but he managed the Iron Sheik, Sergeant Slaughter, Bruiser Brody, Cowboy Bob Orton, and Ivan Koloff. So yeah.
Who was the manager of the
The Grand Wizard. I remember Kevin Nash, I think, dressed up as him in a skit on WCW one time.
Who was the manager of Sergeant Slaughter when he had the Hogan?
General Adnan.
Yes, yeah. He was actually kind of a good manager. Like,
Yeah.
people hated that guy.
And the Sheik was with him, too.
Yep. Sheik was with him too, but he hated that guy.
Up next, WWE Hall of Famer, Classy Freddie Blassie.
Classy Freddie Blassie.
Yeah. You got to remember Freddie Blassie, right?
I don't remember Freddie Blassie.
Really? Well, he was super old school, but dude, he worked with people like adorable Adrian Adonis. If you guys remember him, Jesse the Body Ventura,
Yep.
the Iron Sheik, Mr. Fuji, and when he made his debut as like Sterling Golden,
Yeah.
Hulk Hogan.
The Hulkster.
Yeah.
Blassie was like
nut geek.
Blassie back in the day, man. He was a dude. That dude was
Had
like
that
a rock.
cane and
Yeah,
shit.
he was like that. He was like a rock star, dude, back in the day. You
Oh
know?
yeah, he was classy. Freddie Blassie, he was everywhere, man.
Yep. So we got. So we talked about Heyman. What about
Easy.
Yeah, dude, yeah, he was great, dude.
He was great. Eric Wright. Oh, that Easy. Eric Bischoff. Yeah, you'd
I
have
like
to
Bischoff.
consider him a manager. I mean,
Yep.
he managed all their finances, all their everything. Literally in the NWO, dude, there was no bigger heel. And it was even before Vinnie Mac and the whole Mr. McMahon. Remember the Stooges?
McMahon.
Mr. McMahon. What can you say about Eric Bischoff? He built the company and then he tore it all to hell.
Yeah, but you know what though, dude can cut a good promo, man.
Yeah.
You know, he was awesome. That he was like,
He was a
He was a
Weasley fucker, though. You know, it made you hate him.
I know you did, but it was just that. To me, that's the good part of being a good manager is to get the reaction, whether you hated them or whether you love them. Think about it, dude. We were talking about Bobby Heenan earlier. As a kid, you can't tell me you loved
Yeah.
that dude. I
did like Bobby Heenan.
Did
as a
you?
kid. Yeah.
I was just like, oh, he's a
I didn't like
fucking weasel. Like I couldn't stand him.
I
you
hated
know,
him, too.
I hated him. You know,
I
But-
did not like Jimmy Hart. Oh yeah, baby.
Yeah.
Listen, baby.
Is he on the list, baby?
Yeah.
He just made the last.
Yeah. Jimmy Hart. I didn't like Jimmy Hart either. You know,
I didn't,
The
but he
Mouth
was
of the South.
he's a cool manager. Like I get his shtick, and he managed a lot of people,
Rick
dude.
Rude, Hogan. You know,
The Hart Foundation.
Hart, yep.
Yeah, Hogan. I mean, that's probably his biggest one ever. The whole Dungeon of Doom in WCW.
Dude, I
the Nasty
loved-
Boys.
I loved how Jimmy Hart would get the jacket and the suit spray painted with whoever
Yeah.
he was managing.
Yeah, and he had the megaphone too.
yeah.
But it was super annoying. He was out there like, "Oh yeah, baby, come on, baby."
Yep. So I mean, I absolutely love
And he
that.
still looks somewhat the damn same.
Oh, for sure, man. He same haircut. Same. I mean, he's got.
He always
those
thinks he's
pitch
like
black
a
glasses.
50s like wannabe Elvis or something like that. He wrote a lot of theme songs for wrestlers and shit. too.
Jimmy Hart did.
Yeah, I think he actually wrote the Real American in WCW Hogan's theme. I
did
could be
not
wrong.
know
Fact check me, but I'm pretty sure there's some other ones.
Yeah.
He did a song on the original wrestling album in the 80s too. Might have had another one. But yeah, in the Mouth of the South, Jimmy Hart.
I did
What
not
up?
know that. So they got Vince on this list. What do you think?
Vince. I mean, he was never really a manager.
Yep.
You know, I mean, he didn't. I mean, he would come out with a group. Well, I guess like the corporation or something, but I wouldn't consider that. No, I don't think he needs to be on that list.
No, I don't think so either. So who's a few notable mentions that? So here we talked about this the other day. I liked Bill Alfonso.
Oh yeah,
like
Come
it.
on, baby. Come on, baby. Bill Alfonso.
Mr. Monday Night Raw, damn, we got Sabu, we coming for you, baby.
the whole fucking show.
Dude, I loved Bill Alfonso.
Shabu, baby.
And he always blow that damn whistle too, dude.
Yep. I liked him. I liked Joel
Joel Gertner.
Gertner.
Yeah, he was awesome.
Yeah.
What about Dick Dudley?
You had Sign Guy Dudley. Oh my God, what was
Diamond Dallas Page. When he
Diamond-
managed Scott Hall in
Yep.
WCW, as Scott Hall was the Diamond Stud.
Yeah, I liked Joel Gertner because he always had
I like Toyota.
my name is Joel, you know.
And then he would say, yeah.
dropping my pants and putting it in you, Gertner. You know what I'm saying? Like he would always just have different
EC-dub.
Dude, it was just he always had like a catchphrase.
Yeah.
Like, you know, And I always that's what I liked about Joe Gertner. I thought he was awesome for that. Like
he was always very dirty,
very stiff, very hard, very
very
dirty.
lubricated.
But I thought it was awesome, man. Anytime, and the thing is it became such a thing that at the ECW shows, people just like it got dead silent when he would introduce himself. And then people would lose their shit, man. It was awesome, you know. I thought he was awesome. Joe Gertner was with the Dudley Boys.
Yep.
He was with the Dudley.
He was with them. Remember when Jenna Jameson was there?
Yep. He was with the Dudley Boys there. So, what do you guys think of Deborah McMichael when she was
Deborah? Everybody wanted. Hey, look at the puppies! Puppies! Wow. I can't do a good Jerry Lawler.
Lawler was he would lose his mind.
Now look!
You remember? Like, oh my God!
Oh my God, puppies! Whoa! Hey, JR!
Yeah. Hey, if you think Sable, what about Sable?
Yeah, well, Sable, yeah, man. Jesus Christ.
She was a good manager.
A lot of loads blown to her. Probably on her, too.
Yeah, she was a good manager. Jackie.
Sorry, Brock.
Remember Jackie?
Jacqueline.
Jacqueline.
Yeah. Jacqueline.
Jay Quellen.
Yeah, she a big old dark chocolate mama.
Yeah,
Had some
she
big
was
old
a good
boobies,
one.
dude.
She was a good one.
Big old bitties. They would say that at ECW.
Oh, they didn't care. They gave zero fucks in ECW, dude. It was great.
Yeah.
But you had you had her. I mean, there was a lot of. So we got this list. This list was from the richest, okay? And the thing is, I agree with what 60% of it. Would you say?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, I'd say maybe 60% of this list.
Yeah.
I agree with, but there'd be other ones that would make the list for me. You know,
Make the list lisp.
I know. It's just one of those things, man, where I agree with some of it, but I think there were some better ones. Bill Alfonso not being on this list is ridiculous.
That's blasphemy.
Yep.
Mr. Fuji, man.
Mr. Fuji, yeah. Fuji was great. Yeah. Fuji was great. So who did Fuji have? Fuji had Demolition.
The Oriental Express, remember them?
Yep, he had Demolition, Oriental Express. He had Yokozuna.
Oh, yeah. He was the best with Yoko.
Yeah.
Demolition was cool, too. He might have had the Powers of Pain, or what, you know what I'm talking about? That was, damn it. God damn
Wasn't that the Warlord and Hercules?
Barbarian.
Warlord and Barbarian. That's right.
Two huge dudes. They're still kicking it on the indie
What was it,
circuit.
dude? The Warlord lasted like 3 seconds in the Royal Rumble. And doesn't he get the quickest elimination?
I think that was one of the Bushwhackers, and then that became Santino Morella with like half a second. I don't know who it is now. I think there's someone else. Whoever's the goofiest fucker they can find.
Do you know the old Royal Rumbles to me were just they were the greatest. I almost loved the Royal Rumble as much as I loved WrestleMania.
Yeah.
And it's just they've gotten so bad lately.
They stink.
The
There's a
old
lot
ones
of
were just
stink on
great.
them.
Like everybody, I'd be like, oh my God, who's coming out? Remember when they had the lottery?
Yeah.
The lottery was great.
The Lethal Lottery.
Yeah, that was great.
That was
but
WCW.
who else would you say in WCW was a pretty solid manager?
Oh, well, dude, Tori Wilson was a manager. How could you not think she was solid? She's still solid.
I thought Tori was that's Stacy Keibler. She was a Nitro girl. Wait, which one was the Nitro girl?
I think Keibler started off.
Yeah.
And then she became a Keibler elf.
Do you remember when Stacy and Tori had the feud?
Oh, yeah.
Oh my God.
Bra and panty matches galore.
I loved it.
That's like the 13-year-old me. It's like, unzip.
Hey, dude, Vince was like, I know you guys can't wrestle for shit. Just go out there and take your panties off.
She's gotta show her cats. Look at those puppies.
Dude, remember Terry Runnels?
Terry Runnels?
Remember she had Goldust and she had a Legion of Doom 2000.
No, that was
that was Sonny. That's right.
Sonny's another good manager
Sonny
we can list off.
Yeah, Sonny was a good manager.
Until she got old and got into porn and drugs.
Exactly. I liked, dude, I think Francine did a great job. She
Francine
was with
was good.
Shane Douglas.
Well, in ECW, who was another? Well, Bill Alfonso was the manager in ECW.
You had Francine. She was originally with Shane Douglas.
Father James Mitchell. Dude, he was in ECW and TNA, the Monster Abyss.
Yeah, what about
Sinister Minister?
Is that what about the Judge?
The Judge.
Remember Judge
Oh, Joe, yeah, what's his name? Judge Joe Brown.
Yeah.
I know what you're talking
with
about.
Sid, you remember?
Yeah.
Let me see.
It was. He wore the old judge shit too, like the George Washington hair shit, right?
Yeah. Let me see.
His name was Judge. I am the law. I am the law.
I can't remember his name, man.
Fuck him.
Oh, that's gonna suck. But he was good. I thought he was awesome.
Yeah, he was cool.
He was cool there.
Mr. No Name Judge.
Yeah, and then you had Big Sally Graziano.
Big Sally Graziano.
He was great, dude. He was just a big ass dude.
He was a big mother.
Dude, he was huge, man. What was Big Sal? 6'7", like 450, 500 pounds?
Probably definitely 500 pounds.
I mean, he was massive, you know. You had him, Terry. Who was it? Terry. Tracy Smothers.
Tracy Smothers, yeah, with the FBI.
Yep.
He wrestled though too.
He
mainly.
did, but I kind of felt like he wrestled there for a little bit, but then kind of took like a little bit of a back seat, you know.
Yeah, like so did Deborah McMichael.
Yeah.
Zing.
Yeah.
She left Mongo and went to Stone Cold, or went with Jeff Jarrett, and then married Stone Cold and got beat up.
He beat her up.
That's not cool. No,
That's terrible.
That's terrible. You're a terrible human being. He said, Lord help me, Jesus, falling down the steps.
Fall down the steps, Lord God, help me, Jesus.
But love.
Sherman.
Hey, so let's take a break from talking about managers real quick. Do my real quick segment on shout-outs from Twitter. What this is all about. For all you that followed me at Juice Pro Wrestling on Twitter, at JPDUB Podcast. I totally botched that. But let me throw a shout-out real quick to Your Wrestling Nightmare at Golden Knight MAR Giant W. Oh, yeah. Follow! I keep following me. Chucky Maine at Chucky, CHUKKY _MAYNE, Chucky Maine. Follow him. Follow at Dave Kin 676. Dave Kins 76.
You got it.
What's kind about that, Dave? You got some kind in your pocket, or you just happy to see me? No. The Grappler 7 at Grappler 7, Brothers Grappler, who's also following. Ooh, there's some kind of hot lucha girl. She says, "I'm Suki, the assistant to the original Masked Mark Slayers." At Grappler 6 and at Grappler 7. No balls, but still tougher than you flippin' dive club. That was fucking horrible, but all right, shout out, follow them guys. Tony at Pro Wrestling Bit. Hey, what up? Thanks for following.
Hi.
How you doing, Tony?
Hi.
Let's send a shout out to at _Talkamania, weekly episodic podcast adventures with your boys at Desmino and at J-Bomb. J-Bomb, how you doing? And here's our most notable one of the week. Thunder Rosa, a.k.a. Cobra Moon from Lucha Underground. What up, baby? How you doing?
Hell yeah.
Yeah. We love it when we get, like the major people following JPDUB.
Hey, to chime in, Judge Jeff Jones.
It was Judge Joe Brown. I knew it. Jeff Jones!
Judge Judy.
Judge Judy got hella booty. Rudy! 3 years. Should never showed it to Rudy.
That JPDUB, he loves those followers.
He does. So why don't you follow me on Twitter at JPDUB Podcast?
Give him some of those tweets.
Give me some of those tweets. Give me some of those lickings and those likes on
those Twitter blessings.
those Twitter blessings all over my face, all over my chest and stomach. Feed them to me. Feed me more. Come on in to where nightmares are the best part of my days.
What's the website? What's the website they can follow you at?
www.jpdub.com and www. I feel like Michael Cole when I say this. www. You know, it says all weird. WWE at www.greendoornetwork.com. And you can also check us out on Facebook at Juice Pro Wrestling. We also have a group where you can interact. You can talk. Don't just hit a like button. Share some shit. Let me know what's up.
Post some stuff.
What's it called?
Before I go postal. Oh, it's the JP Woo. What's the JP Woo? It's the Juice Pro Wrestling Universe.
Hey, so FYI, Chris is going to post that video of his son introducing Mr. Mr. Anderson.
Chris Barton.
Yeah, it's awesome. He's got a video. They went to a TNA live event back when his son was a little dude, and they brought him in and introduced Mr. Anderson. He did the Mr. from Green Bay, Wisconsin. That's awesome.
Mr. Isn't his son like a giant now, though?
Yeah, big guy, man.
He's like 15. What do you say? He's like 6'6"?
He's like 6'3", like 240, 250. Like, what? Like just a big old.
Yeah, he's about to fuck him up. Fuck him out.
That's a D1 scholarship there, boy.
What's the D stand for? Dussy. Dussy and blessings.
Oh, yeah.
Trippins and trimmins with Ron Simmons.
But I thought that was awesome, man. That's very cool.
Was it like blessings and blankets?
You know what? We got to go and find the picture of when I had Cam and Ariana meet Mr. Anderson, and you had, remember? And then
Durs got choked by him.
Yeah, it was awesome.
And Earl Hebner.
Oh, that's right. Remember, Earl was kind of a jerk.
Yeah, look at him. He's old.
Yeah, Earl Hebner.
He was trying to sell those T-shirts that said "I screw Brett." And I was like, that's inappropriate.
Sir, excuse me, sir. That's
Excuse me, you skeevy stoner.
Remember when you grabbed his ass, Justin?
By God, it got quite a badussy.
Smelled like booty, dick, and
Spilled liquor.
I spent more money on spilled liquor than you made last year. Woo! Yeah, but you can check us out on all that. You know, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. It's all good. We're on all podcast platforms. You can also call our voicemail and leave a message. Tell us what you love and hate about the show, or just drop a line like, hey, what up, Juice?
And what
you
number
doing?
could they reach you at?
1-872-267-4199.
You should repeat it in a little bit more of a sexy voice, and then Sreten
That's
cue the
one.
sexy music.
872-267-4199.
It was almost like a sexy American dweeb.
I thought it kind of gave me a jub.
Okay, cue the ping.
I'd like to thank everybody for tuning in. We had some fun today. It's good to have Sret back in the mix.
Thanks, guys.
Sreten the Savage.
Savage butchery.
He's such a crazy savage, man.
He is.
Maybe next time we'll have him tell us some of his debaucherous stories from Europe. It'll be like Sreten's Euro trip.
He brought back a Serbian luchador mask.
It's Sreten in Serbia. Do they make those out there?
Sreten the Serbia.
No, I don't know. No, I didn't see in Serbia. I didn't see any wrestling.
Do people look like Sabu out there?
How dare you?
I don't know. No offense. That was just for shits and giggles.
For shits and giggles.
For what does that even mean, for shits and giggles? Like, do you really want to giggle when you shit?
No, but if you see somebody shitting, you got to get. Every time I
You
see a
gotta
dog
giggle.
shit, you got to give those
You gotta
giggles.
make a wish, man. Wish for them blessings, them fixins, them dickins, them drippings.
Trimmins.
Oh, feed them all to me. Hey, for Big Ed the Assassin, for Sreten the Savage, this is Big Juice Willis checking out on episode 29, saying, wet 'em up, wet 'em up, wet 'em up, wet 'em up, wet 'em up. You gonna do sex to me?